Susan. I'm going to show you how you can sew a French seam. So I've taken my 2 pieces of fabric and placed them wrong side together. I've pinned them along the edge that I want to sew, and I'm going to use an 1/8 inch seam allowance from the raw edge. I'm going to sew down the length of the seam. So here we go. Okay, so once I'm done sewing, you can see I've got a really small seam allowance here. I'm going to iron this seam allowance over to one side. So just press it all down to one side. This is what's going to allow you to make a really crisp edge when you do the next seam. So you can see right here is the seam that I sewed in the last step. I'm just going to fold the fabric right along that seam, and I'm going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance to then sew along the length of this seam to enclose that first 1/8 inch seam. Okay, so here we have the 1/4 inch seam that we just sewed, and we're going to iron it down to one side just like we did the 1/8 inch seam. So you're going to iron it just down the entire width, entire length of the seam. And what you're left with are all the raw edges are contained, and the seam is just as pretty on the inside as it is on the outside. So it's a really nice smooth finish on the outside, and then no raw edges are left on the inside.
Hi, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe.